All right. Today marks a very important day of my life. Very technical day indeed. I know people document things for various reasons, and people are on camera for various agendas, and people are doing what they do for many, many reasons. My name is Andany Humphrey, and I want to put in play information in regards to a lot of decisions that I've made in my life ever since to date, and some which have defined my victories and some which have taught me how to become a better person. I'm not here today in the sense of packaging myself because of the main agenda of the internet, but this is a very special information for myself, for my family, for me and those that I love and those that are close to me. But as usual, I don't just get out here with any form of information that no one can learn from. My information are rich in knowledge, and um, it has very substantive um, references that someone may really learn something and improve their lives or make something better out of it. And of course, I'm just engaging a very, very technical decision. This is April 2022. To be very precisely, it's date 18. And of course, I know that we engage a lot of decisions every day. And some of these decisions, they end up hurting us and converting us into beggars or slaveries of knowledge, slaveries of love, slaveries of many things. But myself, I know that I'm a victim by all costs and by God's grace. And the victory that it's with me and that which I'm yet to acquire, it is a consequence of many, many decisions that I've made before today. And of course, decisions that I'm going to make after today. I take this down today on record. Perhaps it's just because of my future, and that I look back and say, these were the damn days. But I want to begin by saying that it hasn't been an easy time. For those who've been flabbergasting to know how old I am, this is my 27th, and it has been a very, very substantive day. So who am I at my 27th, and how did I become who I am today? People do interviews on TV and elsewhere. People do personal interviews for various reasons. No one has spotted me for a serious interview, and I'm not intending for that any soon. But I have to keep the records for myself, for CJ, and for other people close to me. At this very age of life, I've been going through a very technical moments in the recent past, and just to be more clear on that is that I've been thinking so deeply because I have very many paths to pursue. But you see, I wanted to build my brand and the person that I am or that I will become. So I had to engage people or talk to people, not necessarily to seek for guidance, but just to find how loud they think about this concept. And I had to, engage myself so richly in a very serious engagement to ensure that I don't miss. And of course, I had to engage God Himself to see how best I can go about this. I've seen many things and I've touched a lot of things and I've engaged in many decisions. but I need a definite decision. I need to have myself grounded in a purpose and in a mission. 2014 January, when I picked my university life, the same season that I started serving God in a very serious magnitude. All along, I've come to prove that God is real and He can do so much for us. And of course, all my success story, not most of them, all of them, have a backup of God. And it has God's background. And as I've said, I don't know why you guys you share information. And I don't know why you guys you speak how you speak. I don't know why you do what you do. People are so judgmental. They will listen to you and they just judge you. They just think like everybody's a bad person. They don't have a double thought. They don't want to just value people at arms. They don't want just to be there and just make the world a good place. And I think that's how the world is today. Everybody's good except yourself. You're the only great friend to yourself, and that's my greatest lesson over the years. You are somebody that you must take care of yourself, you value yourself, you be with yourself, you control yourself, and you live yourself. There is so much in life. No one wishes you good. That was my lesson when I was about to join Canvas. It was a bitter moment, and I know it will be in one of the fine stories. I know a lot of people have such stories. A lot of people have similar testimonies, but of course, the output is always different. The end result is always different. The level of success is always different, but we share a lot of similarity with many young people out here in regards to life and godliness. At my 2042, my first drawboard ambition was to be the head of state. And I know myself, I don't fail, and I don't carry those genes. This is something that I was to pursue it and pursue it to completion. And I could have gotten that. Of course, there's a lot that I had drawn behind that scene to make it happen. Secondly, I manage a God given vision for the National Mentorship and Counseling Organization, PMAC. There's another great deal because there's a lot in that package. There is PMAC TV, PMAC radio, there is PMAC towers. PMAC has to employ people over 50,000. PMAC is supposed to go international for what we call IMCOM. That's another great vision that is supposed to be pursued to the end. I have a vision in regards to Datemax Limited, which is a commercial company that is meant to do a lot of things. I will not highlight for now. And there is a vision for Hampex Production Limited, which is already existing, and it has its own sets of objectives. There is a vision for what we call NTS Limited Company, and this is the brand name. This is real who I am. NTS is me, and I am NTS. And its vision and mission and what it does, we are going to discuss in the later times. And here I am, a child of God, with a calling to pursue the ministry. Here I am, I'm a PhD student, and there is a professional demand. So I can tell you, in the recent past, I've been in crazy thinking, a lot of things. And There are many more things I pursue that I have to be very, very um, careful on what I showcase first. I should just, I like showcasing things that are already materialized. Those I've stated, they're up and running. But the point is, no one wishes you good. I've come to prove this 1,000 times that each time you tell your friends things or people close to you, you are actually setting yourself at the risk of not achieving the same because life is spiritual. And people, what they speak and what they think about your success, it amalgamates to reality. And now that the world is not so correct and the world is so spoiled, many people think that you should fail. Even the very close friends to you and the very, very people who are just dear to you, they can actually plot to destroy you. And I don't know how best we're gonna deal with this issue, but this is a terrible, terrible decision. I know that I was born with a purpose, and I'm here to pursue it, and I have to leave this world. But again, you have to have an identity, this that people must see you, know you with. And the reason why God created us and inserted in us great things is because these great things in us are not meant for us, they are meant for the world. And anyone who wants to live a very successful life, you must acknowledge, exercise, and practice this reality that whatsoever is in you, is inserted in you, it's not meant for you, it's meant for the world. You are actually supposed to survive with what is inserted in other people's hearts and mind. And life is spiritual, and you see the way you deal with these matters means so much. Means so much. So I don't know, but at the end of the day, what I'm trying to tell all of you is that we are born with a purpose, and we must pursue this to reality to the end of time, and we must win. I know what I want, and I know who I am, and I know the reasons why I was born. If every young mind could define that reality, trust you me, mistakes could not be a big deal. Mistakes could be a by the way. But mistakes are bulgy. Things are becoming wrong every morning. Things are becoming fault every morning. The world is actually failing and collapsing. But we can't feel that because we have made ourselves to believe that we are correct in all we do. We've surrounded ourselves with people of similar characteristics, similar behavior, similar mindset. And sometimes it's not great mindset. Therefore, these are people who cocoon you in a stagnated mindset, and you don't define success. You guys, you ignore a lot. And ignorance is what is killing most dreams that young people are pursuing. You don't need to ignore information. You must set up yourself in the manner that ignorance is not something to pursue. Unless otherwise, whatever you are ignoring is something that has or is likely going to affect you. That the rest of the things you don't need to ignore. Today I'm a happy guy. He may not be so happy as it is intended. But I'm happy because one, I have Christ in my life. There's no two-way traffic about that. Secondly, I have a definite goal I'm pursuing. And thirdly, I know what I want. and I know where I'm going. I don't want to dodge the the times that have been difficult, and I don't want to miss the main agenda of this recording. The main agenda of this recording is that I want to walk the journey from when I was 10 years, because that's when I began to make serious decisions. And I want just to tell a few of my friends how I became who I am today. I know I've been asking, I've been dodging this in seminars, conferences, I never wanted to discuss this, but I just want in a simple glimpse, just to let you people understand that the Humphrey you seeing today isn't and wasn't the Humphrey that was, or rather used to be. And I want also to use my story to challenge those people that don't have the right backup, like your parents are not supporting you, your siblings are not supporting you, and people around you are not supporting. I want to challenge you to make you um, know that you can conquer yourself and with your God. All right. But as I've always said, you cannot pursue this life without taking care of the spiritual angle. For sure, for sure, for sure. You cannot. You like it or not, the spiritual angle of your life is something that you must consider. I don't know how on your end, but on my end, that is the genesis of my great life. You must be able to take care of your spiritual angle if you want to become a great person. It's not about going to church. It's not about praying. It's about really helping people. This entire faculty is a course on itself. It's living that reality. It's living what the word states. And it has a lot of sacrifices. When I look at young people, I just know if they're living godly life or not. Do you know why? Because godly life has a lot of sacrifices. When I began the journey to greatness, I didn't start anywhere else. I started in the salvation grounds. I had to rebrand myself, repackage myself. I had a very bad, dirty name before. I had to work on that because people were prejudging me. People were giving me titles that are not mine. People were actually, I used to cry, trust me that you see here, crying, just because somebody's talking about something that is not true about me. People are giving me titles that have not matured to have them. And people are talking all manner of ill. And then I was like, oh my goodness, why was I even born? But today, here we are. I'm keeping pursuing this life, but for one main reason: we must make it happen the godly way. And if it can cost me to really leave everything else for God, trust you me, that's what I'll exactly do. Because I know what I'm saying. There's a lot of videos on YouTube, and a lot of information is on air. A lot of preaching, spiritual teachings, mentorship, counseling, guidance, all form of things. And of course, comedy, entertainment, music, and all this. But the end result of all these things is that somebody is earning, somebody is making money. But the end thing is, are we changing lives? Because to me, I advocate for things that are changing lives. If you watch my video, can you become a better version of yourself? Can you become a greater person than who you are today? If that is not the case, then that thing is not yet working. You'll be happy for a few hours and you go back to your normal life. The addictions, the bad behaviors, That's what we are discouraged. But you see, when you don't want to listen, you don't want to do what is being said, then you're going to be a victim. One day you'll die, trust me. You're not a robot, you're going to be here forever. You're going to finish life and go where you're going. The point is, what will you be doing the period God has given you to stay here? And what are your footsteps? What are your agendas? What do you want to have? Who are you? Those are questions that should be answered. Wacha kuishi kama robot. Like, stop living just a clueless life. Stop living an open-ended life. You don't know what you want. You don't know what you are. I mean, who are you then? You should not be existing. And that's why anything that comes in life just sways you out. Anything that knocks in just pulls you down. Because you are not taking into account what is supposed to be done. You must be very, very, very intelligent. You must be. You come to life one day, you're born. You will be no more one day. When we talk stories, when we narrate, when we teach, there is a force behind our hearts to that reality, and that determines the impact of what you teach. If you teach with a wrong motive, a wrong agenda, then the impact is equally as zero. And that's why you see on YouTube somebody has very great motivation, but he has 30 followers, 30 viewers. But you see, the 30 have all changed from one form to another. That's a million times achievement. Then somebody who has 10 million viewers, who are all broke, poor, murderers, thieves, fornicators. That's the life. But you see, the guy is earning. I'm not against what they do. The industries must be existing. The people must be there. Everything must happen as it is because it was predicted that the world must cross this particular phase. We are not here to change anything, make anything better. We're here to make somebody better. Because the systems will be as they are, but you are supposed to be a unique person within the systems so that the systems don't sway you to match their standards. You must be unique and different. You must know how to maneuver. Information is all over. People are very selective nowadays. People can really spend on TikTok 2 hours without getting tired. They're using money, they're using time, energy, but they can't spend 5 minutes on a preaching. Trust me, you're a wrong fella. It's only that somebody has not told you. Your settings are not correct. You might have cash, you might have all you want, your house might be excellent, you might have best grade in class, but your priorities are not correct. And you know where the tires will hit the tarmac is where the spiritual woes will outweigh the physical. When you're already married with 2 children, and then the reality hits, then you face it tough. The reason why I spend time, I've told you in the beginning that I want to make a decision, technical decision. I don't just rush into decisions. I take time. I survey my past. I survey my present. I engage God so richly, and of course, other types of knowledge that I have. Then I choose. When I choose, I always choose correctly. There are very few rare cases where I didn't manage to choose right. But you see, again, as an intelligent person, you have the power to convert whatever choice you've made to suit you. But I'm about to make a decision that will define a very, very um, great moves in my later life. Now, for those who follow me, those we are growing together, you'll eventually know which decision is this. But before then, I would love to give you a simple test, very simple test. It's not too late. It's never late for somebody who is hardworking, for somebody who knows what they want, for somebody who knows where they're going. And it's for people who know why they were born. It's never too late. Age is never a factor for those people. Time is never a factor for those people. Environment is never a factor for those people. What is a factor for those people is the zeal and the mindset. And they produce results in every ground they go. You must be different. My mission is just to change one person. Just one. And I know I will, because I have before. And when you get some good knowledge, you see, you don't need to force anything. I don't need to shout at you. I don't need to make this, no. It's a calm presentation because I'm talking to somebody who is disciplined, somebody who respects himself or herself, somebody who wants to change from the lives they are living, somebody who is tired with the living they have. I can't do a better tone than this. The issue is, it is doable. It's doable. Um, it is possible, all right? And it is workable. You just need to decide, because the decision lies in you. No matter how much knowledge you'll acquire, before you decide, it will never be. So it begins with you deciding that I want to be a different person. You must decide that I want to see change. And when you decide that way, change will come. Change will come. The decisions you make. I'm about to make a decision. The decisions you make defines your future, defines who you are, defines who you'll be, defines where you'll go, and how it will end. Decisions. You must be very careful when you're making decisions. They will come as friends, they'll tell you things to do. They'll come as parents, they'll tell you things to do. They'll come as cousins, they'll tell you things to do. They'll come as teachers, they'll tell you things to do. They'll come as pastors, they'll tell you things to do. But the end result is you will decide yourself. Therefore, it's you converting the power of information you've had to decisions, to actions. That's where the secret lies. You must be able to filter and filter well before you decide. Your decisions. It's all about decisions. You see rich people around, that's a consequence of their decisions. You see poor people around, that's a consequence of their decisions. You see sick people around, consequence of their decisions. Young mothers, consequence of their decisions. Drunkard is decisions. Decisions. The power lies on the decisions. You must choose well and be good kids. We'll continue knowing these decisions I am making and those I've made before in this series, the power of your decisions, because that's where everything lies. For now, wish you well. Have a lovely time.